the shuttles. The thing about the shuttles is that we needed to launch. I wanted to do a satellite or a GPS tracking system, and with a satellite or GPS tracking system, you need to have at least the more the merrier, in order to get good coverage and good signal. See, the thing is about having a geosynchronous orbit satellite is that it's great, but only a dish that is way out there that is angled perfectly aligned to it, or line of sight, can actually read from it or see it. And the signal strength that you need to be able to get to that object has to be tenfold higher. So while they're great and everything else like that, they're not really as usable. Closer in or satellites which are zinging around the Earth are better. But the problem is, because they're moving so fast, you need to have you need to have more of them, about 120 to 240. The DHL or DHTV system, basically, and also to do what's called GPS systems and all that other stuff. In order for a small antenna to be able to pick up a signal from them, you need to have something that's actually a lot closer into to the planet Earth. Like I said, the moon doesn't necessarily really orbit us. The moon is actually orbiting the sun, but the moon just kind of woggles around us, kind of, because the moon is actually orbiting. Everything is orbiting the sun, basically. So it's going like this, basically. It's not really orbiting us. It's just kind of like slowing down and speeding up, and basically it's kind of like cruising around because our gravity actually isn't high enough to actually, or at least, anyway, it's complicated. But basically, pretty much, it takes a lot of magnetism or a lot of very dense item, and it's actually electromagnetic or whatever. Like I said, gravity doesn't really exist so much as it's all electromagnetic or whatever. Anyway, it's kind of confusing, kind of weird. But basically, the water inside of us is the reason why we don't float away, or something like that. Anyway, it's all electromagnetic and electricity and electrical interactions, basically, that actually do everything. But anyway, though, basically, if you have a satellite up here, you're not going to be able to get a signal to Earth and everything like that. You need something a lot closer. So the thing was, we needed to be able to launch 120 satellites or 240 satellites into space. So in order to do that, we needed to be able to carry at least 2 or 3 satellites. And then the problem is, of course, is that things break. And when they break, they're basically toast, dead. There's not much you can do about it. So, and there's a lot of debris and other things, things go wrong too. So anyway, so we needed a space truck. We needed a way to be able to get to space and get back and get to, to be able to repair these things and do everything else like that. So not just going up there, but basically being able to maneuver around once you're up there, which is exactly what the space shuttle does. Like I said, the space shuttle actually doesn't use up all its fuel. It actually maintains and keeps I think it might even keep the fuel tank on until it's empty. But basically, it uses up most of the fuel, and then it can maneuver around in space. And the fuel tank just kicks it, because once you're in space, basically, you don't really have huge amounts of weights being attached, and just a little bit of can get you a long ways. So basically, you have a space truck, pretty much, once you get up there. If you get up the fuel tank and everything, and then as you're coming in, you just jettison it or whatever else like that, or write it in, or something like that. Anyway, I don't really remember exactly, but pretty much the actually, I think they might write it in. I don't really know exactly what they do with the fuel tank. I forget. They say they jettison it, but whatever. Anyway, I'm not really involved with that stuff anymore. Basically, we needed to be able to launch a lot of satellites into space. So, and the space shuttle could launch like 3 satellites at a time, versus basically a missile system which can only launch 1 or a couple. Well, nowadays you can launch more and then just have them auto track, go to their location and just sit. But basically, we wanted to be able to launch some stupid satellites up in there and basically just have them going around, because you don't really need to have thrusters on every single one of them because these things are just going to sit there and go, and maybe, you might push them up. They just need like attitude jets to basically, just to keep themselves going or whatever. Anyway, whatever. It's a big complicated thing, but basically for the DH whatever system, or direct TV system or whatever, or basically GPS communications, pretty much that kind of stuff. Anyway, so I decided instead of doing rockets, I wanted to do a real spaceship, which was the shuttle system. So I had my people basically build the space shuttles. Brian, no, Brian. Brian, basically me. Lucifer Star, really. It's Star Enterprises. So basically, that's how the shuttles got going, and pretty much that's why I transitioned to is the shuttles. So anyway, another thing that Kennedy and a lot of other people wanted to basically keep secret was pretty much my involvement with creating the shuttles and satellites and everything else that I did, and basically my LSF Collony ship, pretty much. Basically, I have more money than I know what to do with, and I had 12 races or 12 life forms, and a lot of people, pretty much I'm your creator, like I say, and a lot of great things became because of it. Like I said, and there's a lot of stuff that happened. Like I said, people that just want to just kill someone and take over is one thing, and I am quite a different thing. So, but the thing was, like I say, when I changed my name, who I was or the fact that I was kind of forgotten. Like a lot of people I've been denied my whole existence pretty much, and viciously hunted down throughout space. So anyway, at some point in time, I did the space shuttle, and someone realized my name was Brian. And so, like I said, there's a lot of wonderful people out there, and I was protected by some people in Russia. Like I said, there's some people in Russia like Putin or his father or somebody else like that. There's a couple people around the world that knew who I was and knew that I was really the creator, really someone, and basically really the president of America and of a couple different countries, and they wanted to keep me known. Anyway, or at least, so I made a shuttle, and they named it Brian after me. Because I changed my name from Lucifer Star to Brian, and basically that's how that happened. And then basically later on, some people decided to try and kill me, and basically if I was dead, then they could just do whatever they wanted. Anyway, it gets really complicated, and like the star bullet or the 1,000 needle bullet, porcupine bullet. Anyway, like I said, a lot of people didn't know who I was exactly, and some people were viciously trying to kill me. Nixon and JFK and a few other people especially, pretty much. Mostly because they wanted to go and live inside my White House, and they wanted to take my money, and they figured it's just easier just to kill me than to actually admit who I am. So even though I'm the creator and basically engineer and builder and inventor of flight and space and rocket engines and basically jet engines and all kinds of stuff, and engines in general, they figured it was just easier to just fill me full of lead or whatever, and basically do away with me, deny me, and then just say it's not true or whatever, and kill me. Even though I create 800 galaxies, they figured it was easier just to kill me or let me die without anybody knowing. So anyway, yeah, it went bad. It got bad, and but still I got a shuttle named after me. Because it was my shuttle. So anyway, yeah, and it was my money or whatever. My people. Anyway, a lot of people love me, and I love them very much too, and tried to protect them as much as I could. So anyway, but it's hard to protect someone from one of those damn bullets, the 1,000 needle bullet or the LS bullet, Lucifer Star, light shell bullet. Very dangerous bullets, and a lot of people died because of them. Anyway, like I said, we use them in space for creating stars.